All right. So 502 stand up, you know what it is. I'm very glad and I'm very happy to say for the first time I'm able to interview DJ Cassidy. I've seen him spin personally. I've listened to him spin. I mean, this man is been traveling the world, been definitely doing this thing on the corporate side. And now here today, we're here to talk about passing the mic, BET. I mean, this is such a big honor to be speaking to you. I've watched your growth and man, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. The pleasure is all mine.
No doubt, no doubt. So, I've actually had the pleasure to check you out. I don't know if you remember this. This was probably, actually, I'm sure you remember this. This was BT weekend 2008. You were at a party, I want to say at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Uh-huh.
You remember anything like that?
Yep, of
I think
course.
DJ SNS was there as well.
Yep.
Big Tigger. There was a whole lot of people in the building that night. But I remember partying that weekend, and I want to say I saw you spinning, and you was definitely doing your thing and killing it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's an honor to see you again. So that was
Mhm.
2008. We're 13 years
I
later.
know, right? I know.
And I guess, we're here to talk about Pass the Mic. And Sunday night, I will be premiering the seventh installment of Pass the Mic directly after the BET Awards on BET. And for everyone out there who might have not seen an installment of Pass the Mic yet, this is a series I created exactly a year ago during the pandemic.
Okay.
And I wanted to find a way to celebrate the everyday heroes around our country and around the world. And in an effort to do that, I sought out to unite my musical heroes. And one at a time, I would sit at the turntables and drop iconic hip hop and R&B records. And with every record I dropped, I would bring on the iconic artist who sings that song on screen to sing along.
Wow.
Now, only 7 episodes in, 12 months later, I have passed the mic to 173 iconic artists.
Salute.
173
Salute.
iconic artists.
Hmm.
So, for those who haven't seen Past the Mic, I'm talking about Earth, Wind, and Fire, Shaka Khan, El DeBarge, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, TLC, SWV, En Vogue, Key Sweat, Teddy Riley, Boyz II Men, Bobby Brown, Belle Biv DeVoe, Run DMC, LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, Salt and Pepper, Naughty by Nature, Missy Elliott, Mace, Wyclef Jean, Genuine, Cisco. I mean, the list goes on. And it's been an incredible ride, and we're really just beginning.
Well, one thing that I want to say, I know that you've had a career. I've seen you put out records with celebrities as well. How easy and how hard is it to do? Because I know me being a DJ myself, it seems like that would, really not only having the relationships and getting these records and being able to put them out commercially, but how hard is it to do?
Well, the first installment of Pass the Mic that I conceived of last April and premiered last July was a product of pure relationships. I had no prototype. I had no example. I only had an idea in my mind. And so I knew that in order to deliver this crazy idea, I could only call legendary artists if I had relationships with them, because they were going to have to trust me, because there was
Right.
nothing to show for it. And so I dug into my phone and thought about whom I had come across, whom I had worked with, whom I had collaborated with, perhaps. And I called the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I called the
Wow.
members of Kool and the Gang, and I called Sherilyn and Patrice Rushen and Saida Garrett and Denise Williams and Ray Parker Jr. and all these legendary R&B artists of the 70s and 80s whom I worship. And I pitched this crazy little idea. I said, okay, I moved my turntables to my coffee table in my living room. I'm going to sit down at the DJ setup. I'm not going to stand. I'm going to dim the lights. I'm going to light the fireplace. And I'm going to drop only iconic records. And with every iconic record I drop, I want to bring on the iconic artist who sings that song to sing along to one verse and one chorus. Very quick, very simple, very easy, 1 minute each artist. And no one said to me, how are you going to do that? They just said, that sounds cool. And now I had about 15 artists who said yes. And now I had to figure out how I was going to do this. There were no cameramen. There were no techs. Most people didn't even have an assistant or anyone at their house. It was just them and me. And somehow I came up with some way and made this work to where it looks like I never got up from that chair. And I passed the mic from one home to the next, from one artist to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And I put out what became Pass the Mic Volume 1. Although I didn't call it Volume 1 at the time because I never expected there to be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it simply caught fire in the true meaning of the phrase.
Well, man, it's great to see the partnership that you formed with BET. Like I said, I first met you at BET Weekend years ago. And you know what would be iconic for Pass the Mic would be to see you actually let KRS do a verse. And the reason I say that, he had a song called Pass the Mic. So I think that would actually be probably iconic at some point if you could do that.
Of course, I wanted very badly for KRS to take part in Pass the Mic Volume 2. That was the hip hop edition.
Okay.
Essentially, every important hip hop artist from the 1983 to 93 was involved. He was actually traveling on the road, wasn't available, but there might be a sequel to that episode, and he might have to set it off if there is.
Well, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to come on after the BT Awards, Sunday, June 27th.
Sunday night, June 27th, a few days from now, directly after the BET Awards. There will be no commercial breaks. There will be no red carpet. Directly after the BET Awards, stay tuned for DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic BET Awards edition. I am passing the mic to over 20 iconic hip-hop and R&B artists. Now here's a clue, to sing along to their most iconic hip-hop and R&B records of the early 2000s. So if you remember that era, you remember it was one crazy party. And that is what I'm bringing to you on Sunday night. Really the biggest party that I brought to you thus far.
Can you let out the bag? One artist.
I rarely do this, but I'm gonna let out one artist. Okay?
Okay.
She's too special to not let out. She's too definitive of that time. But ladies and gentlemen, I will be passing the mic to Ashanti. If you love Ashanti, if you love her records, if you love the era in which Ashanti came out to the world, I assure you there's over 20 more artists where that came from. And I gotta tell you, I did something on this show special with Ashanti that I've never done on any Pass the Mic, and you'll have to tune in to see what exactly I'm referring to.
Well, I want to tell you thank you once again, because the thing that's special about Pass the Mic is not only are you bringing back the iconic songs of different decades and generations, but how they made you feel. And these kids get to see performances because, some of these newer artists don't perform as much as, or should I say the same way a lot of the older artists do. So salute to you for, people able to see this on BET with Pass the Mic.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor to be talking to you. And look, it's an honor to be doing this on BET. I grew up watching BET. In fact, Pass the Mic is all about a celebration of our musical heroes. And all these artists became my musical heroes through watching BET. It was through Video Soul and Rap City that I was exposed to these artists and these songs as a child. And so now, to be uniting these artists on BET, on this show that I created during a crazy time in the world, is truly something I'm grateful for. And I'm really grateful for the artists who continue to want to take part, and even more grateful for the people that watch in excitement and share my excitement, because that excitement you see on screen, that's real. I'm the biggest fan there is, and I'm bugging out when I'm jamming with these artists, and I know the viewers are too, and I think that's what really makes it so special.
All right, well, DJ Cassidy, I want to say thank you once again. Please shout out your social media, and we definitely going to be checking for you, BT, Pass the Mic.
So for everyone who wants to catch up on the previous 6 Pass the Mics, they are all on my YouTube page. It's youtube.com/DJ Cassidy, and there's links to them also on my Instagram, which is just at DJ Cassidy. Or if you forget all that, just search Pass the Mic and they will all come up. And I look forward to seeing you all Sunday night, directly after the BET Awards on BET, for DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic BET Awards edition. I want you to turn the music so loud that your neighbors call the cops.
I'm going to make sure they do that. So thank you again.